Hello, hello, salut. I am the Rasta Witch. Here's where we learn the way of the Yan Sway Rasta, which is to say, my kind of Ital. Please subscribe and begin your own kind of Yan Sway witchcraft. All roads lead to Rome. Home. Hi, how you doing? Okay, so I didn't know when I filmed the part one. See, I've been wearing this all day. Um, But I didn't when I filmed part one of making my anointing oil, my witches all-purpose witches anointing oil. I didn't know that I was going to be doing a part A and a part B. So this is part B. The reason that I didn't know is because I was filming it live, and at the very end, I forgot to I had it on pause and I forgot to hit record, and I missed parts of it. And I didn't explain some things and stuff like that because it was live. It was because I needed to film it on the new moon in Aquarius, and it was a live recording of me actually making that oil. Okay, so now I can go into more detail. So really, like I've already explained, what I'm doing is I'm kind of like rebooting my craft altogether. I'm redoing my most important candles, the one for the goddess, one for the god. I'm doing a new anointing oil. I redid my talisman, So my candles, my talisman, and my oil, those are those are the most fundamental things, and the holidays and like that, so that's what I'm doing is I'm starting with the most fundamental things, and it's all a process because like to do things I need to have my oil because that's how I do things, but then I need to have the deities because that's to me that's how you do witchcraft, is you don't. I mean, you can be atheists and things like that, but it's not my job to tell you how you should do your deal. But for me, it's I kind of like follow. I really got into the sadhu, and it's a hard subject to get to know, and that's kind of where I get this sensation that you dedicate yourself to this deity, and you can go through phases as a witch. That's why it's called paganism. You can, like some witches will say, that year I was into Thoth, and this year I was into Bridget, and this year I was into Hagate, and like things like that, and switching around and keeping some stuff, and and I think that's like the main point with witchcraft is that it's a process, and you're accumulating experience and accumulating things, keeping some things, but you're always learning and growing and adapting. It's the beauty of witchcraft is the other people have to pretend like there's a man in the sky and a book's his word, and it's the same today, yesterday, and forever. So they have to kind of like go crazy to make things true that aren't really true, and start losing track with reality and stuff. But when you're like a scientist, always adapting and learning, then you can keep it accurate with reality as you learn more about reality, So and plus you do things get with more experience, things get simplified and they get better. Like these things that I'm doing now it's way better than ever before, For me, the beginner me was really intense. Everything was done in a magic circle. Everything, like, there was just there was so many rules and stuff like that. But now I have experience with magic. I know that, like, for example, the anointing oil. If I keep using the oil and it keeps bugging me, I'm like, you know what? I feel like I should have added more frankincense. Then I can, just add a few more drops to the frankincense and then see if that makes it feel more magical, Um, But to tell you the truth, today I had an experience. I was riding the bus, and this one guy in a wheelchair seemed really extra interested in me, you know, and then his wheelchair ran out of battery, so I helped him push the wheelchair in onto the bus that we were both riding, and he just seemed to really like me, which is cool, you know. It's like that's what I want. Is I want friends, you know, that like that, you know. I didn't get his name. He lives in the neighborhood. Maybe I'll see him around. Maybe he'll be a future friend. I don't know, but as he got on the bus, I smelled my oil. You know, obviously it was psychological because you know, why would I smell my oil? But I smelled it and I was like, wow. You know what I mean? It was That's the way magic is, you know. Things, you know, everything's connected to your subconscious and everything. If you've hopefully you've seen my video about what is magic. It's my most viewed. It's by far my most viewed video. But anyway, oh, hang on, my heater's gonna make a big racket. Okay, let's keep this more simple than that. So the parts that I missed out, like what I missed out was you saw me, and in the description box I'll leave a link to part 1, and in part 1 I'll leave a link to part 2. So these are connected together. But yeah, it showed me dipping my knife in the oil, and then I just said, you know, and then right after I dipped the knife in the oil, I hit pause. And then I forgot to hit record as I was consecrating the oil or blessing the oil. Same thing in this case. And what you do is So this is my my Book of Shadows, my Witch's Grimoire. To me, that's the same thing. Though you're probably smarter than me and know that it's not. So like when I was saying like, the first cold pressed extra virgin olive oil, which is for air in Yahweh Ropeka. The pure frankincense is for fire in the sun. And I told you I'm not going to tell you what that means and stuff like that. So like it's written down in my book. So then, because the truth is, what ends up happening is you don't remember. You're like, oh wait, did I say that basil was for the moon, or did I say lavender was for the moon? Because that's kind of confusing. Which one would it be? Which one did I? You know, it's all the part of the magic of the oil is, or really just anything when you're doing these type of things, is it's the ritual or the ceremony. You know, I'm not, vocabulary is not it's not something that I'm really, you know, I'm not trying to prove how smart I am or anything. I don't care what anything's ever called, kind of, you know. I'm not really sure what the best word is, or even what the difference between a ceremony and a ritual really even is, because it doesn't matter very much to me. But when I was doing this this ritual, which seems like the better ceremony, anyway, I think ritual is probably the better word, right? I was stating out loud what everything means, you know, and then that's what you saw in the video. So I'm saying, and this is for that, and this is for that, you know. And I was reading out my notes out of my Book of Shadows. So you know, and so it's like the statement of what these things mean, you know. So you know, so that it has that power, because I know that's what I said when I made it. You know what I mean? And just because I know how things get later on, you're like, oh, what was this? What, you know? And you can review it and remember, and it's like recharging that and keeping it that way. So then I go over, you know, the frankincense is the sun, purifier, blessings, one of the most sacred oils, one of the most sacred of all oils, used to anoint magical tools, altars, etc. See? If you watch the video, wow, that's an exact quote. That's because I'm reading my notes on that. See? So that's how this works, you know. And so the what I did was you raise the knife up in the air, and this is according to that book reference that I give on part 1, and you're supposed to just say, in the name of the moon, of the stars, and of the sun, I bless this oil. That's what you're supposed to say. But I said Yahweh Ropeka, because remember, for the olive oil, which is what it mostly is made out of, which was for air, which is the words, and the consecrating it is something you do with your words. And I said, and it's for Yahweh Ropeka. Yahweh Ropeka means Jah, our healer, because the oil, like one thing I didn't go into enough detail about is one of the big things. The oil, this essentially it's for anointing magical, anything magical that I might make, anointing it. It's kind of like this for the same reason in a way that you sign your painting when you do a painting, kind of, it puts your thing on it, your brand, your intentions. Intentions is a really important word. But if you've seen my video on the order of Melchizedek, I go over the attribute names of Jah. Our healer is this attribute, because this anointing oil is for anointing magical tools and for healing. For when someone's sick, you can anoint their forehead, and it's a blessing of healing. After the tradition of Yahushua. Of course, Yahushua's would have had cannabis oil in it. And I have some videos. Always look in the description box. My description boxes I just pump them full of all kinds of references, sometimes between 7 and 10 different videos of just different references and other people saying the same things, and deeper dives, from other people, so you can hear other people, blah, blah. But yeah, I have some videos on there of cannabis oil, and that's because, Jesus Christ, Messiah, both Messiah and Christ means the anointed one, the kingship oil. So Yahushua would have used the cannabis oil. So I say Yahweh Ropeka in the name, holding the knife up in the air, Yahweh Ropeka in the name of the moon, of the stars, and of the sun, I bless this oil, Amen. Which Amen is how you say in Ayeric, the Rastafarian language. It's how you say, so mote it be. So I'm just telling you this because, so that you can, make your own anointing oil. And then I anointed everything that I have with the oil already, And when I make, tomorrow I'm going to be working on the drawing and everything. Tomorrow I'll do my video on the God, and I will anoint that candle, So another thing that you didn't see in the video was after I was done, I let the incense burn to completion, and I let the pink candle burn to completion. Actually, it's right here. See, you can see it's still kind of in there, but it's burned all the way down. I burnt the pink candle all the way to completion, and then when it was done, these candles, like the Mother Mary and the Yahushua one, those ones, when I was done, I blew them out, which is like saying so mote it be, or Amen. And so I blew those candles out, and then I lit after I anointed the Mother Mary of the Ansui one candle, I anointed the candle, then I lit it, and I kept that with the Mother Mary candle going, my new Mother Mary candle going after it was anointed, until the pink one was gone, and then I blew that one out. See? So with candle magic, if you cover it so that you're not blowing it out, that's kind of like hitting pause. When you're listening to music and you hit pause, it's kind of like putting pause, Then when you light it again, you're continuing from there. But when you blow a candle out, that's like saying so mote it be, So it is, Amen, Thus it is, that it's kind of it's easy to see how that would mean that, So then the last thing I did was blow out the Mother Mary candle, and then everything's tied together, see, founded on everything's fundamental. Mary takes you to Yahushua, so that's why I did that candle first, and then I made my oil, and then connected it to my amulet and the candle. Those are like my most fundamental things. They all work together, and then I'm going to initiate in my God candle and everything, see? And then I did it. I rang the Trinity bells, which is which is like stimulating everything and waking everything up and calling everything forth, and making it happen. So this would be, if you're serious about trying to do it this way, which of course I showed you the book reference, So really it's Scott Cunningham's teachings, and they're probably not his teachings, they're handed to him by another witch. But so the consecration, Yahweh Ropeka, in the name of the moon, of the stars, and of the sun, I bless this oil, amen. So Yahweh Ropeka, our healer, which is a name I associate with Yahushua, who's that's why a witch would be interested in using Jesus, Yahushua, as a god, because he's a powerful deity of healing, and so that's what the olive oil's for, it reminds me of Yahushua, in the name of Yahweh Ropeka, but with the frankincense in it, the frankincense, the reason I added a whole more the next ingredient that there mostly is frankincense, because that's specific to the anointing magical tools and the purifier and blessings and all that, and then both the basil and especially the lavender oil have healing properties. So there's lots of healing properties, and basil, those are like some of the most powerful herbs and things that there is. Incenses, that's it's everything. When you anoint things with the oil, it's everything. It's that I did it on the new moon in Aquarius. It's that I consecrated it. It's how I consecrated it. It's the statements of what things are and why they're that. And even beyond any of the words or any of the ritual or anything else, it's just what the frankincense means. And if you learn more about what frankincense means in basil, you can say, hey, and the rose quartz and everything, because everything's bigger than just that moment too, and you can learn more about what, so it's the ingredients, it's all of it, even, see? So that's how these things work. This is very fundamental, and everything I do, it gets tied into these things, tied into the goddess, tied into the god, the masculine and feminine of the highest archetypal concepts, the oils, and just, you see, so then you can do smaller things, but everything ties back in. So you can see why do you even need a god in the first place? Gods are all created by the hand of man. It's so silly. I don't need a make-believe friend, but you can see it's more like it's a tool. Whether you believe in God or not, you have archetypal concepts. That's how the human brain works. Our brain and our subconscious, we're humans, that's what our biggest tools is our abilities of these things, so it's tools for working with our bigger abilities, which is beyond blah 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 and wow,